Most people believe attraction is about effort. Text more, try harder, show interest before someone else does. But then there's always one man who breaks that rule. He doesn't chase anyone. He doesn't compete. He doesn't prove. And somehow people keep thinking about him. He's not lucky. He's not playing games, and he's not emotionally unavailable. What's happening is quieter than that. Because men who never chase women usually aren't avoiding connection. They're operating from a different psychological position. And once you understand it, the pattern becomes obvious. At first, this behavior is easy to misread. People assume he's arrogant, or detached, or secretly insecure. But psychology shows that men who don't chase tend to fall into a few specific internal patterns. Not personalities, patterns, and each one explains why attraction often moves toward them instead of away. Emotional gravity. Real attraction isn't built on looks or clever lines. It's built on nervous system regulation. Psychologists have found that calm, stable emotional states are contagious. Your brain has mirror neurons. They automatically sync with the emotional tone around you. So when someone is centered, unreactive, and emotionally steady, other people feel it without realizing why. They feel safe, grounded, less rushed. And safety is attractive in a way excitement can't compete with. This isn't charm, it's biology. Men who don't chase often carry this calm because they're not emotionally scanning for approval. They're not watching reactions. They're not adjusting themselves to be liked. Their presence feels solid, and people naturally orbit stability. The subconscious signal. Every human interaction sends messages below the level of words. Men who chase send one message, I need. Men who don't chase send a different one, I choose. Psychologically, this comes from abundance orientation. Their self-worth isn't tied to whether someone stays, replies, or validates them. That shows up everywhere. Posture, tone, pacing. Their nervous system isn't leaning forward. And the subconscious reads that as emotional independence. In psychology, emotional independence is rare. And rarity increases perceived value, not because it's manipulative, but because it signals completeness. The dopamine reversal. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. Dopamine doesn't spike when people have something. It spikes when they anticipate it. This is called intermittent reinforcement. The same system behind social media addiction and gambling behavior. When someone is calm, consistent, but not constantly available, the brain starts filling in gaps. Not because they're playing games, but because the mind doesn't receive constant reassurance. So it keeps checking, replaying, wondering. Men who don't chase don't flood people with attention. And that absence creates psychological space. In that space, the other person's mind does the work. They're not chasing the man. They're chasing the feeling his presence triggered. Purpose over people. This is the part most people miss. Men who don't chase women usually aren't avoiding relationships. They're prioritizing direction. Psychologists call this self-efficacy, the belief that your actions shape your future. When someone is focused on building, learning, or progressing, they naturally project leadership, not dominance. Direction. They're not distracted by validation because they're anchored to something internal. And that foundation removes neediness without effort. It's not a strategy. It's alignment. And here's the quiet truth. Men who never chase don't feel superior. They feel complete. They don't withdraw to create attraction. They simply don't outsource their worth. That's why their presence feels different. That's why people notice. That's why attention moves toward them without force. So the real question isn't, why don't they chase? It's, what are they chasing instead? If this made you see attraction differently, you'll probably connect with the other psychology topics here. We don't hype behavior. We decode it. And if you want to keep exploring how human psychology really works, there's more waiting for you. Because the less someone chases validation, the more powerful their presence becomes.